And one of the things you do in the course of your job is influence policy and influence government policy, and with industry associations that you're part of, and obviously the business. I mean, can you tell me something about where you think the policy is in Scotland and the UK? Has the eye been taken off the ball during the pandemic? What's your wish list there? What can people be influencing?
Okay, right, so I guess just in terms of my responsibilities when it comes to the industry side, I'm a board director of Renewable UK, which is the leading Renewables trade association covering all of the UK. I'm a former director of Scottish Renewables that did likewise in Scotland, and I also maintain a number of other industry contacts. I've also the privilege of being the chair of Safety On, which is the onshore wind sector's health and safety organisation. And through those organisations, I speak to and encounter a huge number of stakeholders, all of whom have got very different requests, asks, or information needs from me. And I think part of my ask is we don't stop. We keep that tap flowing of investment coming in. I think that's all important if we're talking about this in the context of the climate emergency and net zero. I also think that the UK, there's a moment in time here because of COP26, the big international meeting that's going to arrive in Glasgow's doorstep next November, hopefully all going well. That is an opportunity for us to showcase what we've done, the great capability we have, the investment that we've made, the fact that we have had an increasing proportion of renewable generation on our network, and it's gone well, things are working. We now have as clean a system as we've ever had, and it's only going to go one way and get cleaner. I think COVID-19 has presented challenge, absolutely. It's certainly caused us to have to review how we work, keep our teams safe, keep our supply chain running throughout all of that period, and that has not been without its challenges. But I think knowing the renewable sector like I do, they are an incredibly resilient bunch, and they've got the gumption and the tenacity to keep plugging away at it and find an answer. And that's what they're going to do. So I think with COP coming next year, we just need to keep going, keep the investment coming in, make sure that those long-term investments are given the opportunity to come forward. Long-term job creation flows from that. Supply chains have the confidence to invest in the UK and continue to support that sector, and that we also then work with and engage in the communities that are around our assets as well.
Yeah, this theme of resilience keeps coming up. Our first session featured off was with Professor Graham Roy, and we've talked a lot about that, but I think gumption, you just mentioned gumption, good old Scottish technical term, but I think that's really important as well. A lot of people might not know what COP26 is. Do you want to just let us know what that is and how important it is?
Yeah, so it's a huge meeting. 30,000 delegates are expected to arrive in Glasgow, all going well, next year. It was due for hosting in Glasgow this November, but unfortunately with the pandemic, there's been obviously interruption there. COP stands for the Committee of Parties, and basically it's a meeting where the nations come together and they talk in detail about everything we need to do to protect the future viability of our planet. What does it mean for energy? What does it mean for the sort of societal sustainable goals that we have, and various other commitments that we'll make. People maybe recall the Paris Agreement. That was a bit of a major moment, and that Paris Agreement is due to be ratified at the next meeting as well. So all eyes will be in Glasgow next November, and certainly as a company based in Scotland, with assets operating in Scotland in a field that supports that vision and that outcome and that intention, I'm delighted that we will hopefully play a part in those discussions, and see what comes from it. A big opportunity for the UK as well to showcase their leading position in offshore wind, what they've done in onshore wind, what they've done with asset integration onto our network, and also what they're doing with regard to storage, deployment of electric vehicles, decarbonisation of heat, all of these great things that are going to come and change how we are using our energy day to day. So a big meeting, lots to talk about. Glasgow will be very, very busy for that period in November, but a hugely exciting moment in history, hopefully, as well.
And I hope actually for many of our clients, maybe an opportunity for for businesses in terms of servicing that, you know, whether you're in the events business, hospitality, for tourism as a result of that. So, you know, I think, you know, it's really important to mention it just in terms of a glimmer of hope on the kinds of things that when we get through this, we can still continue to attract. And I have no bias whatsoever as a Glaswegian to say that it's coming to Glasgow, which is great.